Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Gridiron Weekly. I'm joined by my co-host, none other than JR. How are we, JR?
Good. Very good.
Awesome.
I
We don't
miss
have
Bill.
Bill tonight. Bill has a mandatory, I think it's some sort of human relations type thing or human resources type thing at the air mark for the stadiums. So he's there. He gets paid 3 hours and gets a meal, is what he told me. So hopefully he
Nice.
pays attention in those HR classes. But you never know with the A train if he gets too excited. But
Right.
welcome again to a great episode of Gridiron Weekly. This week we are picking games. I did not stutter. You did not hear wrong. We have games to pick.
Yeah.
Week 0 is upon us on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. But we're going to start off first. We're going to go through some college news and notes. And I'm going to start off with the biggest news in college right now, and that is the people who get cut during training camp. They're not actual, I go back and forth whether they're true NFL players. Not to say I never made it to a training camp. I don't know that. JR, did you make it to a training camp?
No, no.
No. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they're not real NFL players, but they're not making a roster.
Right.
And should they have the opportunity to come back? I have no idea. Start us off, JR.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing to me though that college football is so huge, NCAA, that they
Yeah.
were able to, that they act like they weren't ready for all this. Like
Right.
they have nothing in place, and whether it's NIL money, this money, everything is just they had no idea. It feels like they're stunned that this was a possibility. And Lane Kiffin's the only one who's going to take advantage, I guess, of all this.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, it's just I look more at NCAA football, and I think of Saban over there in Congress. He said everything right. I agree with him.
Yeah. We
Everything he
talked about it.
said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and this is just a circus. I mean, I know I'm going back and forth too. Daquan Wright. Okay, you're right. He got cut. So what would he make if he was on a practice squad? He'd make 13,000 a week, I think.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, go back. He's going to make more.
Right. He's going to make more in college. He'll get, I don't
Yeah.
know what the deal is, maybe half a million, $1 million, which is more. What I turn to when I hear all these, these ESPN and all these other idiots who are just, with righteous condemnation. Give me a break. How many athletes go and play minor league baseball and come back?
Right.
We had one that won a freaking Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
Winky. He was a
Right.
professional baseball player. He was in the
Yeah.
minor leagues. There's no difference between the minor leagues of that and the quote unquote minor leagues of a training camp. I'm sorry. I don't see a difference. I just
Right.
don't. You let them come in, you let them do whatever they want. They could argue that they let them come in as long as they don't play the sport that they went pro in, right?
Right.
Which, if you want to do that, that's fine. I think who was the guard from Kentucky? Won it with Boston, the point guard, and he went
Mm.
back to Kentucky to play golf.
Oh, I can't remember now. Oh,
Um, I can't remember who he
I
was.
can't remember.
And there's other players that have gone and played golf in college, that have played
Right.
pro sports. So don't act like you were saying, but don't act like this is brand new. This is groundbreaking. This is not breaking the color barrier. This is not landing on the moon. Go ahead.
The only thing I think they should have to do though is go back. Like this guy should have to maybe go back to the school you were at or
Yeah,
something. I did because now you're in a weird window where now you can just it's another I guess they call it another transfer window or something or
right.
some sort of thing. I mean, I don't know.
But shame on the NCAA for not closing the
Yeah,
window. If you want
of
to, if
course,
you want to,
yes.
if you want to cure this, it's very easy. The window closes, say August 1st, whatever you want it to be. That's when the window closes, right?
Yeah,
You have the power to do it. That's not interfering with any transfers. You're just saying, okay, the window for fall sports closes here, and
yeah.
it opens back up when and put a time frame. Condense the time. That's what you should do. It's not difficult.
Did
If
did you
you
see
really care about it.
did you see the Big Ten won't allow it?
Yeah, I'm not. Whatever. I mean,
Why would they
it's
do
going to
that?
happen.
Right.
I don't know. All I know is that you should have been prepared for it. I mean, honestly, you should have.
Prepared for
Yeah,
nothing. They're
I,
ridiculous. They are
I,
prepared. Acted like this has been thrown at like they had no choice. It
right.
just happened. Oh my God! Now and we're caught off guard. I don't know.
Correct.
You can't be caught off guard for these things.
Right. That's just so disingenuous of the NC2A. Come on. I mean, it's an obvious leap, right?
Yeah.
And they here's what they also did. They said you could sign with an agent, right? I mean, now they're agents, but before when you signed with an agent, you could do that and you could see where you're going to be drafted, and then you can opt out and come back. They've done that in the past before the NIL, before all that stuff.
Right.
At least in basketball they did. Hey, this is what the
Mm,
agent said. He says I'm not going to be drafted here. I'm coming back. Right?
right.
There's no. I mean, that's the only difference is you got to play. You weren't playing against like the elite half the time. If you're a number two or number three, you're playing against the number two or three on the offense. So it's
Right.
collegiate athletes playing against collegiate athletes. It's
Mm,
not. They're not saying like you really think Pat Mahomes is going to go back to say he's going to go back and go, okay, now I want to play at name a school of
right.
one of his favorites. Now I want to go and play for USC because I love whatever it is. That's not what's happening. These are individuals that and here's the other thing, they're going to get more education, right?
Yeah.
He's going to come in as a transfer student. He's going to be whatever. He's going
And
to go to class.
and he's going to make more money. And why wouldn't he? Because everyone's making money anyway. So it isn't even no one's an amateur athlete. We're
No,
all
yeah,
professionals now. So
and you're right. That's another great point. I mean, you're really going to call these all amateur athletes when they're making big time bucks. You
they're
know,
barely student athletes, some of them.
right?
So, they're
Like,
basically
Carson
barely.
Beck admitted it last year. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
I
like,
mean,
I don't. Yeah,
I don't have a problem. The thing is, of course, it's Lane Kiffin, right? He's got to be the guy.
right,
Of
right.
course.
Of course, but also I mean,
Good for him.
he has a decent point. I'm not going to say a good point. It's a valid point. Let's put it that way. That if not us, then who? Right?
Yes.
Other schools are
Yeah.
going to do it. They're just going to do it because the NCAA is just losing its credibility every which way you turn.
Mhm.
They're just a joke of an organization. I just read the Tennessee linebacker that got suspended for the $427 that he paid back.
Mm.
Carter is his name. He had his suspension reduced to one game. It should be no games, right?
Right.
He paid the money back. Especially in this day and age of NIL. Are you kidding me? You're coming after somebody for $427 a plane ticket, which he paid back in full. I mean, it's just idiocy.
Um,
It doesn't make sense. I don't know about you, but I'm shocked that these large universities, say the top 50, and we could probably name them, right, haven't left by
mm.
now,
Right.
right? I mean, you take
Yeah.
the top 50 or 60, whatever it is, and they'll just put their thumb up to the NCAA and say, sorry, we just don't care. We know we're going
Yeah.
to
We'll
get
do
television
something else.
money.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Texas,
Right.
Ohio States of the world, the Michigans of the world, the LSU, and all these big programs. If they leave and say, sorry, we're going to we'll call it the collegiate athletics, or the
Right.
CA, or whatever name their $1 million marketers come up with, and they would destroy NCAA, destroy them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I'm
I don't
surprised they haven't
know.
done it.
They got to figure out something. They do have to have somebody. We're at we need a commissioner. You need a whole thing. We talked about this before. You're gonna need collective bargaining agreement. You're gonna need all kinds of crap. This is now professional sports, and you're sitting there as if it's not, and it's that you're sitting there like it's not like all of it like this is they're playing a game like a in their own mind like fiction. This
Correct.
is not what it used to be, and it's never going back. So figure it out because these things shouldn't happen. If you don't want them to happen, like you said, make it August 1st, do whatever. It just shouldn't happen.
Well, I mean,
And
they're signing
I'm fine.
basketball
I'm
players of the
fine.
G League,
Yeah, I know. Right. So what's the difference? There
right?
is no difference.
No, none at all. I mean, they're younger, but I mean, the
So
NFL could also help by having another league, a developmental league that pays money. Once the NFL takes that shield and puts it on the UFL, I'm telling you, you could have 16 viable teams. You regionally disperse them like we talked. You're gonna make money. There's nobody that's not gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, aren't you?
I'm gonna watch it, and yes, I'm gonna watch it, and that's what I was just about to say. You do that, I'm a perfect example, and I watch a lot of football. I'll make sure I watch it. Unfortunately, with that, sometimes I'm not always, locked in. But I will be
Right.
when I see a Bears sticker on a helmet. Why not?
Exactly.
I'll go
Right.
follow that team.
I mean,
So
it happens in every other sport. Like when we were talking Penguins, they were talking about the goalie from Wheeling that went to Wilkes-Barre and came up, the Russian
okay,
goalie. It's
yeah,
just like that. People are going to watch these people. Why do you think people go to minor league games? They do the rehab assignments, right? A chance to see a
yeah,
major leaguer for $7 or whatever the prices are, right? I think the NFL, as strong and powerful as it is, needs to stop focusing on international, right? Build your domestic league, make it better. That's what they do. It's all throughout Europe with their soccer, with their European football. That's what they do. They have many levels, up and down. Every country has four, five, six, seven, eight levels of football, right?
Yeah.
And they succeed by doing that. Players go on loan everywhere. It's no different than what you. I mean, it's a brilliant system. It is. It has its flaws, but imagine being able to send your player on loan from, you say the Ravens and the Commanders. They have the DC Defenders, right?
Right.
You
Right.
send you send your players on loan there, and you do it in the offseason. You don't try to take them on because you're not going to be able to beat college. That was a problem with Trump and the USFL. You're never going to beat the NFL head to head. And he just listened. The USFL would probably still be around,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't have lost money. They lost so much money trying to take on the NFL, and they didn't have to. They could have made it an off-season league, and they would have done very well because they had players. You know,
Right.
so I just think that the two need to get together, especially because they sign them out of the G League. Baseball players come back and play football. I mean, the whole thing. They want to stay true amateurism, but this just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah. They
sure it
do.
really ever did.
Right. And they do got to get together. The NFL, the UFL, NCAA football, just figure it out here because and you can't continue to tell me how isn't it that they don't have a commissioner yet or they don't have something. They have
Correct.
nothing. They have absolutely nothing except these conference presidents or whatever they are and general managers now, which kills
Yeah.
me. You have
Yeah.
general managers of these teams,
Universities.
and
Yeah.
you gotta you,
And
you gotta
not only do they have a general manager for a lot of sports, basketball, football.
yeah,
You
basketball
know,
too. Yeah,
the thing is, I think that with the NCAA, they should be smart enough to understand that you have this massive pool of retired coaches, right? Massive pool, right?
yeah,
So that's where you get your commissions from, right? You pay them commiserate to what it would be to. I mean, you can't pay them gazillions of dollars, but you pay them a couple mil. You're gonna get good ones, right? You need an NCAA football. You need an NCAA basketball, NCAA hockey. You just go all the way down. You get all these
yeah,
ex athletes and all this stuff. I'm telling you, it's going to make it better, right? You take
yeah.
and you have the NCAA as the overarching authority, but you let the sports run themselves because you can't tell me they know everything about everything. There's no way. There's too many varsity sports in college, right?
Right, right.
And you just let them go. You need a softball one. You need a baseball one. You start with all the major sports, right? And then I'm sure you're going to need a swimming and diving one. Track and fields, the
Hmm.
track sports are going to need one, right? Because they get
Definitely,
caught doping. I just think it's a missed opportunity for the NCAA.
definitely. Yeah, it's
I'm not sure
ridiculous.
why I have no idea why they don't just smart. Maybe they just don't want to. At the end of the
Yeah.
day.
I'm just tired of like when I read these stories and it feels like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe. I mean, if Lane Kiffin knew, you're telling me you all didn't. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everyone knows what you can and can't do,
of course.
and it's not just some crazy. I don't know. It pisses me off. I mean, for me, I'm not in on it. So like, I follow. You know how we follow college. I didn't realize that could happen. I really didn't. I had no idea that could happen. When I first saw it, it was shocking. And then when I looked into it more, like I know you did, it was like, yeah, I could see why. Sure, go
Yeah,
ahead, but have some rules to it. Just have some rule. Add
that's
some.
all you need is some guide rails. That's it.
I mean, this kid from Ole Miss, I would think should have to if. But then Ole Miss has got to want him back. That's the other thing. Like it's
Correct.
I don't know.
It goes into the whole recruiting process. And now, say you've recruited 7 tight ends for that position, you have 3 starters already. So now you're going to bump everybody down a year, right? But it also gives them the opportunity to not only improve their team overall, but also get another year out of somebody by redshirting them. They
Yeah,
have all those tools that underneath their belt. They do. They can do all that stuff. It's also
right.
just a willingness. Do they have a willingness to do it? Right?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't. You would think they'd want to have this. You're right. I mean, the credibility's gone. I mean, it's just, and there's more guys, right? There's another guy who's going, I guess.
There's 30,
There's 30 that are
30
going to go. Wow, I didn't even
that
realize.
that are in the same position. There's 30. Whether or not they all are doing it, but I mean, think about it. The NFL, the cuts are on Sunday. You're going to have every team's at 90 times 32, right?
Right.
They're all going down to 53 plus 17, so they're going down to 70. So 20, what is that? 400. That's what six? It's 700 some odd players,
Right.
right? Not all of them are college free agents, but there's got to be a lot, right?
There'll be a
And if
lot.
if you open the door for one, you're going to have to open the door for all, and then it will be truly utter chaos, right?
Now, when Will Howard, let's say he gets cut by the Steelers. Now, can he? Is can he do that?
I don't know because
And
he's
then
in
be
his second year.
redrafted again? Yeah, right. Second year, so no, he couldn't.
Probably not. I would think it would be
Yeah.
just the players, and I think it would be limited to. I think it would be limited to undrafted, right? Because
Right.
if you're
Okay.
drafted in the NFL, you're good enough to be in the NFL in one of those 7 rounds. Somebody said you are good enough to be in the NFL. I mean, that's the
Right.
reason there's only a handful of undrafted free agents that ever made it to the Hall of Fame. It's 4 or 5, right? Kurt
Right.
Warner's one.
Yeah.
Um, who
Oh
went in
God.
last year? Somebody went in last year. There was a college free agent, but I mean Adam Vinatieri, right? Who, oh by the way, what do those two have in common? They both played in NFL Europe,
Right.
which they credit
Right.
to their success, right? So I mean, there's proof positive for the NFL to do something. Stop focusing on the international and just focus on the
Right.
domestic league. Get it strong and go with there. All right, guess what time it is, folks? It's
Yeah.
pick'em time. It's pick'em time, and I
Wow.
can't wait. I know it's amazing. The season is upon us. We have the international games. I made a little note on the ones that mattered, but the I'm pulling up Billy's picks. The international games, the one that was going to be played in Brazil, thankfully for both teams, is not being played in Brazil. It's being
Right.
played in uh, Charlottesville. Uva, Uva is playing there. So, all right, first game we have up there, Jr. We have um, the game is going to be played in Dublin, Ireland, and it's North Carolina and TCU. TCU is favored by 7.5. North Carolina chose their quarterback. He's a player that's played a while. I don't know who. I can't remember from our times about TCU though, and their
You.
quarterback,
Who was?
because that guy, oh,
Some.
it's the same one. It's the same one
Yeah,
because he's a senior this year. Oh my God, how can I not remember his name?
I can't remember the
Um,
name.
where is it? I'll tell you in 1 second. The running quarterback they have. This is last year. It
Is it
is not
Craig?
sure. Yeah, yeah. Is it Jaden
Craig?
Craig?
Craig? Maybe
Yeah,
Craig. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Jaden Craig. He's a big kid. He'll start for TCU, and then North Carolina chose a guy who has much, has the most experience. Because they just chose that today. They're all practice. They're in Ireland now. They're all practicing, which that's a fun trip I think for the kids.
Right. Yeah.
To go over there. And I think the guy
Is it
is it
Edwards?
Billy Edwards or is it?
Billy Edwards. I think it might be Billy Edwards, or maybe not.
Yeah,
These guys. These
he's
guys.
the senior quarterback. Yeah, he's the senior quarterback from Springfield, from where I grew up, my area.
Yep.
Yeah, big kid too. I mean, they're both 6'3". But all right, so here we are, year two in North Carolina. Right, North Carolina has obviously Belichick as coach. They had Mike Lombardi. I have no idea where that stands as far as whatever legal action he was facing. For his HR violations or whatever the hell it was. No idea where that's standing. But they're in Ireland. They're in there. They had a great. I don't know if you remember last year's first game. They had a great first drive. Right, came down the
Right.
field, pounded the rock, went up 7-0, and then after that the season was lost. Right,
Yeah.
essentially. Right.
Yeah. Clobbered. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did the ACC preview. We did the Big 12 preview. So I'm going to give it over to you, and you tell me who wins and why.
Oh, I like TCU and I like them with this to cover the 7.5. It's just because. I mean, North Carolina's. I don't see anything different. I don't see anything better. I don't like Belichick as this. He's going to get fired. He brought Bobby Petrino over. This is just nonsense.
Right as the OC. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I just think it's good. I think this is. I don't even think TCU is that great, honestly. But I think they're better than North Carolina, and they should be able to handle them and win by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Billy picked that as well. If for sporting wise, let me ask you this question real quick. So, how much of a dent does he put in his legacy if he comes out again and has a crap year?
Well, no, you know what? Maybe not much. Only because this is Kyle. I mean, in the pro, and he was what he was. He did what he
Right.
did. This just makes him look a little crazy to me, like just wacky, like everything that's going on with the girl and all that. He just looks. That's where it does. It's more his persona as a as a person. Like it
Right.
was before, here's a guy looks like a strict guy. I'm on to Cincinnati. He's no nonsense, all business.
Yep.
Then we got to see him a little bit, and he in the media, and he seemed a little bit, he lightened up. He seemed all right. Now it's jokey. Now it's clown-like activity, and it's sad. It's kind of too bad.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it for me. As far as his coaching wise, I don't even know why he went to North Carolina. The whole thing made no sense to me. You know what I mean? He had no chance to win there, anyways.
No,
Probably.
and the only reason he went is because they gave him autonomy. They
Yeah.
gave him full autonomy over the program, which he would have got anywhere, quite frankly,
Right.
right? Anybody would
Yeah.
have done that for him. North Carolina does not have a tradition of winning football. They just don't,
I
right?
do you do you wonder if he'd have got a coaching job in the NFL if he wasn't at North Carolina? Like if he wouldn't have taken this North Carolina job, 'cause he almost got Atlanta,
Well, the reason
and
he didn't get Atlanta is because he wanted all the power,
right. So
and
maybe if he
Arthur Blank
calmed down,
wasn't comfortable.
let's say he didn't, if he changed that stance, I bet you he'd have got a job
Yeah,
this
there's no doubt
year.
about it.
He'd be in the
And he would,
NFL right
as long as he was allowed to pick his general manager, you're right, he would have got a job
now. Yeah.
because he
So
would
I
have
don't.
chose somebody that he's had before, like a Scott Pioli, maybe.
Right.
Somebody who's been out of the league for a while. He would have had them because they got along. I 100% agree with you. I just don't think he fits in college. And oh, by the way, he brings in Bobby Petrino, who has questionable relationships with people other than his wife. Right? He was when he was riding that and got that car or motorcycle accident or whatever with some young co-ed. So, Bill agrees with you, and I'm gonna have to agree with you. We've seen nothing different
Yeah.
until they prove it on the field. Guess what? It's the same old team, and you're just not gonna. You're just not doing anything that's gonna change anything. So you both picked TCU, both picked them to cover. All right, this is an interesting one, right? The Bison are stepping up into the FBS. Jacksonville State is nothing like it was when Dion was there. I don't know that it's a great test for North Dakota State, but it does bring them up. And I think Jacksonville State's, they're FCS anyway. So this is their first game in
Right.
the FBS. It's at the Fargo Dome. They're favored by
Oh.
7. They're always well coached. What do you make of it?
Oh, they're gonna. I think in the far, this place is gonna be crazy, right? I mean, I gotta believe that this is a beating. I think they win. They can run the ball. They'll probably control the clock. They're gonna kill them. I think they beat them. This 7 is probably too low. The -7. I love them to win the game
Very generous.
and to just beat them. I mean, really, because they got think of that place is gonna be a madhouse, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun for them. And I think they win, and they win easily. And I think they run the ball. They're gonna run the ball all over them, in my mind.
yeah.
And
They're gonna. He
one bad.
has North Dakota State winning, but Billy says they don't cover. I think in the Fargo Dome, if they jump on them with even just one touchdown, I think that place just gets electric. Then
Yeah,
comes the kickoff. They have a big thing on. We've seen it before. They score the touchdown. They come down on the kickoff. Massive hit on the kickoff. Right. They stuff them on defense. Bam! It's 14-0 before you even realize you're in Fargo. Right.
yeah.
You know.
And that place is so unique that
Yeah.
the whole thing about it, it's got to be so loud in there. I can't
Oh
even
man,
imagine how loud that must be. I mean, I
that's
know
on my
it's not a
bucket list. I'd
huge
love to see a
stadium.
game there. Yeah.
Oh my God, I would too. I mean, and you just no, it's just Jacksonville's going in there like they're a sacrifice. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a beating
I mean,
in my mind. I'll be
yeah,
shocked if they
I
keep
would
this
be.
competitive and close.
So will I. You both have the Bison. Billy just doesn't think they cover. All right, the next game. This game was the game that was going to be played in Brazil for some godforsaken reason. No idea. No reason to take college
Yeah,
football to Brazil. It can't sustain it.
right.
It's a bad idea. Just all around bad idea. You have NC State going to Virginia. Virginia's got the quarterback from Missouri, Priebus. Is that it? Yeah, Priebus, who's was slated to go
Yeah,
to Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech brought the quarterback Drunken Miller from Penn State and brought him there. He's got 3 years of eligibility. This kid only has one. So he bailed on Tech and he went to UVA, the arch rival. So the Commonwealth Cup should be interesting. But they have NC
right.
State coming there. NC State, I'm not sure what they have, but this is a close line. This is 5.5. Virginia comes off, getting to the ACC final last year. Unfortunately, getting beaten by, for them, getting beaten by Duke, who didn't make anything. They were 8-3, didn't go anywhere. But this is at Virginia, home game, first game of the season. Legit quarterback in Priebus. I like him a lot. It's a 5.5 point spread. It's this game in North Carolina is a real showcase, possibly for the ACC. Having those 2 games in week 0, which is big. So who are you taking in this one?
I'm going to go with NC State in this one, and the quarterback. It's just because of CJ Bailey. I'm going with
Yeah,
him. Guy's 6'6", he runs, he does everything. I think he's the difference. I think they went outright too, but I love the 5.5. Give me the
yeah,
points for sure. I'll take the points. Maybe they don't win. I feel like they could win outright, but I like NC State in this one. I really do.
yeah. Bailey's a great quarterback. He is. It's going to be interesting. I mean, you could showcase 2 excellent quarterbacks here. Maybe they're not first round picks, but this is the start of the nonsensical seasons of telling us there's this. Last year was the best quarterback draft ever. This year, the best quarterback draft ever.
Hmm.
So these are the unknowns, that are known but unknown, right? That are playing. Previous is known but unknown. CJ Bailey, same thing. It's going to be interesting. I think it's a quarterback battle. Billy's got UVA winning going away. I'm not sure why, but that's what he has. He's got
Right.
UVA winning going away.
Right.
So
Well,
we'll figure that out.
yeah, we are opposite. I think NC State wins.
Yeah, NC State is tough. I like NC State's defense. I'm not sure what Virginia did in the portal or what they have coming in, so it'll be interesting. Here's another big game here. Really, really small spread here. Hawaii comes to the mainland and is at Stanford in Palo Alto, and Stanford is favored by 4. What are your thoughts on this?
I love Hawaii. I'm on Hawaii. I'm on the Hawaii train. I like Hawaii. I love watching Hawaii at night. I've said that on here before. It's my
Oh yeah,
favorite thing is a
it
12:30
is.
kickoff and
Oh,
Saturday.
how can you beat that?
It's
Right? You're
unreal.
just relaxing. Maybe you went out to dinner, maybe did that.
Mhm.
The kids are in bed, the wife's asleep, and you're in the basement. Guess what? Bam! You got college football.
And they're going to score points and it's going to
Yeah.
be fun. And I think Hawaii wins this game. I like Hawaii to win. I like them. Give me the 4 points. I love it. I love Hawaii in this game. I really do. I love them as an underdog.
Yeah, Billy has Stanford, but again, I'm going to pound the ACC drum here. You got 4 teams on week 0. 4 teams. You could really show really well for the ACC if you win the two, and Duke. I'm sorry, UVA and NC State turns out to be a barn burner. Great opportunity for the ACC, dominating week 0. It should be interesting for the ACC, but Billy has Virginia winning it again. All right, last game. Um, Memphis at UNLV. UNLV is an interesting team.
Yeah.
What are they going to look like this year? That last year they were stopped by North Dakota State. What do you think of this game? 5.5 point spread at UNLV in the heat of
This
Vegas.
they are playing in the dome, right? They're in the are they
Oh,
at
I'm sorry,
Legion?
they're at Allegiant. Yes, sorry.
Now, what I like in this is these quarterbacks for Memphis. I want the kid from Ohio State. I don't know if he's getting the job or not. Aaron Nolan. I'd love
I
to
don't know.
see him. I don't know.
Yeah,
UNLV has what? The guy from Auburn, formerly from
right,
Oklahoma and Auburn, right?
correct. Yes.
Um, I'm
Again, it,
going
it takes about a week or two to figure out where the hell everybody is.
UNLV has won 30 games in the last 3 years. They've actually been really good.
Yeah,
Dan Mullen, all that. I'm going to go with UNLV to win and cover this one.
Billy has it the other way. I would side with you, Jr. He's doing a great job there, Danny Mullins. I mean, that's he's got the problem is you don't see a lot of their players in the NFL, which is odd, right? Even
Right.
though they've had basically 10-win seasons for the last 2 years. But I'm going to go with. I mean, he's too good of a coach, right? Memphis surprises every once in a while, and they have tons of players in the NFL running back wise. But I'm with you. I would choose UNLV, especially at home. I think it's a good first weekend, but I think UNLV wins it, and I think they cover easy. But
Those
go ahead.
those three games, Memphis, UNLV, NC State, Virginia, and Hawaii, Stanford. I mean that for week 0, that's as good as it gets.
I know.
That's really good stuff.
I know. I think it's awesome. And then you go into Labor Day weekend, and the floodgates open, and man,
Yeah.
Texas. We're picking Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's on the slate. So get ready for that. But I think it's tremendous. I think because of the World Cup, it flew by. The summer
Yeah.
did. We all had
Yeah.
something to watch. The whole world was engaged. It's all anybody did. And America's 250. We weren't focusing on the length of the summer, how quickly it got away from us, but it did. And we're here, folks. We're picking freaking college games,
Yeah.
and only a week. What is it? 2 weeks away from this time. 2 weeks, we're going to be picking NFL
Yeah.
games. So
Gosh.
it's here. It's back. If you bet responsibly, you choose to bet responsibly. You can't go wrong with Jr. and Bill.
Well,
They know how to pick them.
me and Bill are really opposite. That doesn't usually happen much.
No, it does not. I wish he was here to defend himself why he picked what he picked, but I'm sure he'll mention it on a future show. No worries. Bill is not. He's not afraid of being verbose, so he'll be very excited. All right, so the next folks we're going to talk about are those big boys, the big boys that play on Sunday, right? So we had a second preseason game come and gone. All teams have at least two. Two teams have three.
Right.
I'm not sure about you. I watched, and if I could plug, I don't want to plug the NFL, but if I could plug NFL Pass, I would. If you're retired military or active military, it's $79 a year, and you watch every single game in 3 different ways. You watch the full game, you watch the shortened game, or you watch the all 22, which is the camera from above. The all 22 has no audio on it, so you're just watching like a coach would watch, and it's excellent. It allows you to watch a lot of games. What I mean, we haven't had too many horrible injuries starting, Houston, but they made that up by trading for Keishon Boutte or
Right,
Boutte, however they say it, Boot, whatever they want to say. But he is from New Orleans and it is French, so
right.
Keishon Boutte. So just thoughts around the league. What do you think's going on? All that fun stuff.
Well, I guess the
And don't forget,
biggest.
2 quarterback battles are done. So
Well, yeah, JJ McCarthy. God, he might not even be the third string or the second string. I mean, from what
I know, I
it's
know.
being said. What a horrible. I guess I'll go to Cleveland because of the nonsense that Deshaun Watson said about the fans and all that stuff. And you know, they got one more year of him, and then they can be done. Until they're done with him, I mean, because what'll be nice for them is if they're smart. Again, you're gonna hopefully you lose enough games to where you can. And it's crazy because you drafted two quarterbacks,
Yep.
and neither of them are going to be the guy. You should be looking at this year's draft to getting the
Right.
quarterback. But you got to get Deshaun Watson out of here. You can't do it now, right? Because it's like 80 some million against the cap, but next year it's 30. So, or 30 something. You
Yeah.
just get rid of him because it's got to go. He's not. I hope they should boo him repeatedly. They should boo him if he wins, loses. I don't care what he does. If I'm a Browns fan, I don't stop booing. Or I stay home because I don't even want to see it. Because after listening to him, I thought you're just you're a clown, man. How could you speak like that? In all honesty, when you know what you've done, you not only to the team, usually I stick up for the players. I've said this about Mitch Trubisky with the Bears. It wasn't his
Nope.
fault that they drafted him like they did.
Nope.
So I'll say it wasn't Deshaun Watson's fault that the Browns are stupid and paid him like they did. But then he went on to do what he did. You know what I mean?
Well,
So he just destroyed. And it's easier, right, to start Deshaun Watson and go to Sanders than start Sanders and go to Watson. So
correct.
I get it. They're starting him. But I can't imagine that stays long. I don't know what you think, but there's no way that continues.
Yeah, he came out with an apology today, half-hearted, but at least he recognized that his words were ignorant. They were talking about his contract, and he has the craziest clause. I've never heard of this. I don't think it's ever happened in anything. If he's on the roster March 13th, which he's not going to be, that would have triggered a $200 million guarantee salary. Like, what? Who the hell were they
What?
blind when they signed this contract with him? I mean, he don't get me wrong, he was probably before he stopped playing, he was what, top 10, top 12 quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
around there. I mean, probably 9 through 12. I'd say that. He was
Yes.
pretty good in Houston. Although they did stupid things there too with player transfers and everything or trades. But it, for Pat Mahomes, I mean, would you do that for anybody? Let me ask you that question.
Oh my God.
In their
I mean, if you
prime,
do, yeah, if you're doing it for Josh Allen or Mahomes, sure. I mean, you could sit there and it'd be
Burrow,
Yeah, I
Brady,
mean,
Manning,
right, them guys. You would then, okay, you'd still be feeling like a little stupid. I don't know why we had to do this, but okay. I
right?
mean, we're talking about this guy. You're right. He was a number nine. Maybe at best he could crack the top 10, you know,
Yeah, he'd be 10. Yeah,
but good enough. Good. Not like that. The Browns, they have to. They so badly need to just get rid of him and just walk and pretend it in their minds didn't happen or move forward. Just because the fans can't get past it, and I don't blame them. How can you? And also, by the way, I want to tell Deshaun Watson too. I know he's not. If he's listening, maybe he is.
he's listening.
They're not just booing you. They're booing the whole situation. It's not even just you. They're
Correct.
booing.
He,
They're
yeah.
booing everything
Yep. And
because
you're exactly right. And he's taking it personally when they shouldn't. They're booing that's an excellent point. The organization, right?
yeah.
It's not your fault that you got you were traded there. We'll give you that. You know,
hmm
uh, you know, but still, I don't understand why that contract was written that way. I've never seen anything like
No,
that.
the
I
whole
mean,
thing was insane. Yeah. Right.
just a terrible contract. I mean, and the positive is if he goes out this year and balls out, you got draft capital. You already have two number ones next year, right?
Right.
So if I were the Browns, I'd be rooting like hell for this guy. Hell, I
Yeah.
hope he takes this squeaks in as a wild card. Why not? You know, maybe he wins
Yeah.
a playoff game. That'd be fantastic. And then you know what you do? You cut his ass March 12th,
Hmm.
right? Or try to trade
Exactly.
him. Some
Yep.
idiot will take a flyer on him. Say he goes out and he does, I don't know, like 28-10 or 28-9. And gets him into the playoffs. Rushes for 500-600 yards, couple TDs. That's trade bait, baby. I would get
Yeah.
rid of him. I really would. He
Oh,
looks
I
good.
would.
Somebody's going to fall in love. Somebody take him off your hands. That way you don't eat as much cap. But I mean, you look at Miami this year, right? They have 118, $112 million of dead cap. They don't care,
Right.
right?
Right.
I
Right.
mean, they're
And the
doing it the
Browns
way
should.
they. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm just saying the Browns shouldn't have cared either. But I mean, at this point, you got 1 year of him, and you just got it. You can't. I don't care what he does. He's got to go. You can't keep it. Like you said, if you could trade him, though, that would be great. I'm guessing it's going to be ugly. I don't see him having. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't. My eyes aren't telling me he's he's um he's going to be good anymore. And I think you'll end up. I don't know when they pull the plug, but they will. And then I don't think Sanders is good either. So
No, I don't think he's very good.
no,
I mean, obviously, it means that the maturation process in the NFL, right? I mean, it's something that we just don't know about,
right?
and it's very personal. You can get a young kid who's got a great head on his shoulders. You can get an older player who's is fragile. It just depends. You know, this year they have $180 million, $179.7 million in dead cap.
Well,
Miami. Do you think they
Miami,
care?
not at all.
I mean,
Not at all.
they've cut what they needed to cut. They know they're going forward, right? I mean, that's why sometimes I look at the Browns and I go, everybody's complaining about it. Just cut bait then. I
Right,
mean, you
just
can
do
do
it.
it. You can cut
I
bait. I mean, there's no problem.
mhm. The one thing
Yeah.
about
So
Miami, I didn't understand real quick though, Ed, and maybe you could. Why bother with Malik Willis?
I
Like,
don't know.
why give him that kind of a deal? Why even mess around? You could have. I would have got anybody, and you obviously want to get a veteran to play, but I'm not. I don't think I'd have had Carson Wentz be my starter. I wouldn't even have cared at this point. You know what I mean? Because look at the wide receivers. It's a mess. The whole thing is
Yeah.
they're set up to, and it's perfect. Tank, do it. I love it. I love when you do that. If I'm a fan, I'm so happy when I see it. When you just admit that you're bad, and you're going to go
Yeah.
down, and you're going to get better because you're going to have the higher draft picks and stuff. It's teams like Pittsburgh that are frustrating if I'm a fan of them because I can't take it. You just won't do it. You
Yeah.
just won't admit I'm not good.
Right.
Uh,
So I mean, they only guaranteed him 45 million, right?
did they? Okay.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's $22.25 million signing bonus. You can spread that around. 45 is not horrible, but I mean, here's a question for you: would you go for Jimmy G? 43-21 as a starter.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
why
he's out
not?
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like you. Carson Wentz is out there. He's playing, and he's up with the quarterback whisperer up there. I mean, those guys collectively, you're not going to get to 22, right?
Oh, I'd find Mac
You know?
Jones. Where's he at? Give him a shot. I mean, there's a whole
Yeah, I
bunch of.
mean, he's in San Fran. They love him in San Fran because he's probably the best, one of the best, or if not the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah. And
Because
you
it's
give
that
him a
system
shot.
is designed for him.
He could have a shot to start. But he'd be better off staying in San Francisco than playing in Miami. He'll get
Oh,
killed in
God.
Miami. So
Yeah. I mean, he definitely would be. And what'd you make of? I mean, Minnesota's Kyler Murray, right? What do you think?
yeah, yeah, and JJ McCarthy struggling from what I read. And they're talking about will he even be the backup? Yeah, I mean it's Murray. I'm not in. I mean, again, my eyes aren't telling me that I'm going to see anything special. You know what I mean? Unless if he can just be competent, Geno Smith style, that might be enough because the Vikings have a good team.
That's what we were talking about when I was talking to you off air about was that he looks god awful. That team
Right.
looks god awful on offense. Do you think it's just going through just the mechanics of it, getting in the play calls, making sure you're on time, making sure there's no false starts, and just not showing anything, and then all of a sudden you're going to unleash this whirling dervish of a Tasmanian devil that he used to be, right? And you have all these plays uniquely
No.
designed for him. I mean, is that a possibility?
Maybe I didn't, you wonder because I don't know. I wish I knew more about what's going on over there. Is he doing okay? Is he picking everything up?
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Is Murray? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell. It's awful. You're right. I mean,
yeah,
I don't. It shouldn't be awful, but
right.
it is. It's
Their
sometimes though.
offense looks terrible.
Yeah, and I know it's preseason, but geez, that's That is concerning because I do think the team around it. I keep saying this. I think the Vikings got a good defense. I think they have obviously
Yeah.
got wide receivers. You can run the ball. You should be a playoff team or trying or almost. But again, I don't know how confident that quarterback play is going to be. I really
That's what
I
I'm
don't
wondering.
know.
Is it just are they just trying to make sure that he can hear the play, speak the play, all that stuff, and just not worry about these games necessarily? Because it looks like they don't. I mean, they look terrible. I mean, they don't look like they're competitive.
And he's gone. Yeah, it's year one. He comes from Arizona where everything was just. I mean, he hardly played. It feels like
Yeah,
the last couple years.
yeah.
Here he is having to. It's got to be a much more intricate system than it was in Arizona. I'm sure. It's
Oh
got to
yeah,
be
there's no doubt
more.
about that.
I just wonder the growing. There's
I
going to be
wonder if
growing
we're going
pain.
to see
It's going to.
something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. My
Yeah.
eyes
I
tell me
don't
that
know.
he's a bum, right? I mean, he might as well
Yeah.
go become a professional gamer, right? And oh, by the way,
Right. Yeah.
Cam Ward loves video games. Also, I'm watching quarterback on Netflix. He's the same way. He's
Well,
playing against teenagers and little kids all day long. Like
I
he's like,
don't
yeah,
know.
I got 10. He's like, I got 10-year-olds chirping me. Once they find out who it is, and I'm like, what is up with these guys?
Yeah.
You're an
You're a
elite athlete.
professional. You're right.
I'm not understanding that. So let's go to Atlanta now. What the hell's going to happen there,
Okay.
quarterback wise? He's finally cleared to go 11 on 11. Does that matter? Because
No,
my eyes told me
probably
last year
not. Yeah, he sucked. It's going to be Tua, and then that's it, I guess. You know,
I mean, they came out
Penix
this week
is.
with their offense. They scored 34. They look like a totally
Yeah,
different team. You know?
I know. Penix was a bad. He's right up there with JJ McCarthy, by the way. In a lot of
Yeah.
ways, it's not even. They ain't that much better of a draft pick, really.
No.
It may be
One
worse
cost the
because you can't get him on
one
the
cost
field.
yeah, one cost the GM's job, one cost the coach's job, right?
Yeah, and it should. And whoever wanted JJ McCarthy, if it's O'Connell, if he was part of that, then
I can't imagine he
you
was.
I cannot believe he was. I
No.
hope not.
Because if you're
Um,
evaluating him, there's nothing you see in him other than this is what I always hear about him. He's like he has the motivation bug, right? He's got the rah rah bug in him. The come follow me.
yeah,
But here's what I think he is. I think he's a Pickett, right? At Pickett's charge. Come follow me.
yeah,
But we don't know what's on the other side of the mountain. Doesn't matter. Follow me.
right.
And they all get mowed
Well,
down and done.
yeah, it worked good in Michigan though, right? Because you got everything around you.
Yeah.
You do whatever you can do whatever, and I liked him at I did. I hate Michigan, but I liked him at Michigan. Like he was the perfect college quarterback.
Yeah.
Why
He was
not
right up
on a
there.
great perfect college
Yeah.
quarterback on one of those great teams that you have everything around you. So,
Just like a Tebow. You know.
yeah,
I
every
mean, he's
Ohio
better than
State guy.
Tebow, but yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
all the Ohio State guys, because that doesn't translate. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And I think
I
I
know.
think Atlanta's going to be tough too.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough time. It's going to be what's going to happen. I hope Tua makes it and he can play all 17 and everything's okay. But I've told you
Right. And
before,
Stefanski
I'm
targeted
scared of
him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Strange
Stefanski
as
wanted
hell.
him. He said in his press conference, he said, I'm going to go after Tua. I'm going to take him. I mean, there's no doubt about it that Tua's accuracy is up there with the best of them. Just
Hmm.
his accuracy, his ball placement. We know that. We've seen that. However, we haven't seen Bijan play with him. We haven't really seen
Right.
uh, any of the starting wideouts, anything like that. But you should have to be able to see something that lets you understand that he can still play. But I guess that's why we're here and they're getting paid millions of bucks. I guess
Yeah. Right.
because I don't understand that at all. I really don't. What else did you notice from the preseason
Two
week
things.
two?
There's two teams that concern me, and it's for certain different reasons. The Steelers' offensive line, like we talked about before the show, and the Bears' defense. These two things are and now the Bears though, the injuries have piled up to the point where they're going to have to find a corner. They got the backup, the one corner now. Stevenson's gone.
Yep.
The Terrell Smith is gone. These got the
Right.
backups to the backups. Everyone's hurt. And Kyler Gordon. I don't know if they're gonna have to cut him. I don't know what the deal is with this guy. He's making no sense to me why he's not available, and the media's getting all over him. and I'm
Yeah.
just those two teams concern me because if those things don't get straightened out, I said this before though last week and during when we did predictions, I don't think the Bears are as good as people want them to be, and you might be fighting for a 9-win season when all's said and done. You're going to have to score 38 points a game maybe to win,
Right.
unfortunately, and that
Yeah.
doesn't happen. And the Steelers, we got Aaron Rodgers. How fast can the ball come out? It's gonna have to be like, sometimes it comes out too fast. You know what I mean? If it's too fast, what are you gonna? You can't have all
Right.
yards
Get,
after the
yeah.
carry
You're
catch.
counting on Yak. You're right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
those,
saw. I mean, I don't think. I think the jury's still out with San Diego. I'm San Diego with LA Chargers
right?
because their offense is kind of. I
Oh,
mean,
they lost.
he's obviously a great OC, but it doesn't look like it's melded yet. And they look like they have a couple. They lost their starting centers out for the year, Tyler Biotish,
Yeah,
with his knee, tore his knee up, so they need a brand new center. They got their tackles back, so that's a good thing. But I
right.
mean, your center is really what does it all. So they have a younger guy doing it now. That was a little bit concerning to me. Seattle looks like they're not going to miss much of a beat. I don't think they're going to get as many games, but they didn't look bad. San Francisco just whatever he does, man, he just knows how to score points. Good lord, 41 points in a preseason game with every different quarterback that you could have. Same with the Rams. He puts in Stetson Bennett, who lights it up. He puts in the next kid, lights it up. I mean, eh, people could say what they want to say, but these guys know what the hell they're doing, quarterback wise.
And I'm gonna say this about Buffalo: they have really got out of this preseason untouched. They've
I
had a
know
really
they
healthy
are so
preseason.
clean. Yeah,
Yeah. So, and
and
I
they're going to
think
put everybody in bubble wrap. Nobody's playing in that final game except for the UPS drivers of the world.
right because
That's all.
they
That's all.
have they've gotten in and out of there, and their defense has shown me a little bit just on scheme. It's different. It's way different than McDermott's. They
Yeah,
take more chances. I think they're going to try to actually create turnovers this year and all that. Where McDermott didn't really. He kind of was still playing the Bears defense.
it
He
was
was doing all that kind of stuff. So they're
bending, not
clean.
breaking. Yeah,
Yeah. They're quietly unbelievable. I know they're a favorite. I know but it's quiet, and I think that's probably good. It's been really
right.
quiet. There's
Especially with
more
there being
noise
that big
around New England.
stadium.
Yeah,
Right.
and there's more noise around New England than Buffalo, where New England seems to be the team. And I don't really know about that, but I think they're in this. They're similar in the same boat as the Bears, minus the injuries, because they didn't do much on defense. That'll be interesting if they take a step back. But I think the Bills quietly are having and with a new coach too, a whole new thing. They've
Yeah.
been very quiet.
But he's been there forever, though. That's the difference.
Yeah,
I mean, you
right.
give him the head coaching moniker, but he was the interim, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
Was he?
Was he?
I don't
I
remember. I'd have to look that up. But I mean, being the OC, working with the players, totally. I mean, there's something to be said for hiring within. I think New England's offense got better. I really do.
It did.
AJ
It
Brown,
did.
he's a beast. But their defense, they haven't signed Gonzalez yet. Don't know what they're going to do with him. That's going to be interesting to see what happens there, to see if they can get anything out of him. And Pittsburgh has not re-signed JPJ. Gonzalez hasn't re-signed. I don't think he's anywhere near Gonzalez
No.
and Witherspoon. He's just not close. I mean, they're up over $30 million. There's no way you can justify
They'll have to
giving
trade him.
somebody with 3 interceptions in 3 years $30 million. That's $10 million an interception, right? There's just
I
no way. Let the market set the price. I keep telling the people that I know that are Steelers fans that I see it work and around. Let the market set the price, and if you lose them, you lose them. You're better off. You
You
just
are
saved
better off.
yourself. It.
Yeah.
You have to have that mindset, and they just don't. They keep paying these. There's one thing to protect your players. You want to look as an organization that rewards everything like that, but you're rewarding the wrong people. You have 100
Right.
million to a backup. You have a tight end who has a couple catches, $22 million, right?
Right.
You have the other one, 44 million, and you don't even utilize your tight ends, which is the
They're
craziest thing.
they're borderline. They're like the Brown in a way. They're almost like the Browns, just that
Yeah,
for some reason they're able to always win 9 games or 10, where the
right.
Browns don't, and then they can't draft. Oh, they're a whole other story. But you know what I mean? The Steelers are
Yeah,
so frustrating.
yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
A fan of the Steelers has to just want to. Going into the season, okay? You know it. I know it.
Yep.
They're not gonna. They're not making it, and they're not. They're not doing that much.
They're not
So
contenders for the Super Bowl. They're just not.
no. They're not
and
contenders.
nobody thinks they are. Every publication I've read still to this day has them finishing third in the AFC North. And granted, the AFC North always comes with an asterisk, right? Because you have to have
Right.
the two stars of the AFC North healthy. If they're both healthy, they're going to battle it out for the supremacy of the NFC North.
Right.
They just are,
Hmm.
or AFC North. They're just better
Right.
players. They're better. Lamar Jackson's better
Right.
than Aaron Rodgers. Joe Burrow's better than Aaron Rodgers. And head to head, they're very good. They're excellent top five quarterbacks, right? So it's going to
Right.
be an interesting year. They're going to have to get the ball out
Yeah.
quickly. They still have two wideouts that are hurt. They got change everywhere, really. Change everywhere, and they're old in places. It's an odd team. We'll see how McCarthy deals with it. But and we look at the NFC East. Philadelphia does not have their
Mm.
starting wideouts on the field yet. They do not. They are both hurt.
Right.
That's Makai Lemon
Yeah.
and Smith, who I can't believe they call a number one. The guy's 6'1", like 182. That's not a number one wide
Right.
receiver.
Number
I mean,
one.
if I have anybody in the NFL, I'm double teaming. I'm hitting him all the time. He's fragile. He's not going to come.
Yeah.
There's no slants happening in Philadelphia, unless they do them to Goddard. You're not doing them to those two tiny wideouts, right?
That division is wide open.
Well,
It's
it's
wide open for one of them teams to win.
but I think
Cowboys.
I'm going with Dallas because I don't think
Yeah.
Washington has it together. I mean, he did the same thing. He got pissed off at the team, right? They came out of the
Yeah.
game. Detroit didn't play, so instead of a day off, you know what he did? He threw them all in pads, and they had to practice because that's how pissed off he was. It's just this half-assery of I don't know how they fix the preseason because it's some of it's good, but they're playing at different speeds, leads to the injuries,
Right.
right? I mean, it just does. If you're playing at different speeds, it's either all in or all out, right? You throw your whole body in, you throw your whole body out. But you can't do the half speed stuff that's causing injuries. I'll tell you who I was impressed with. I was impressed with Green Bay going into Denver and
Yeah.
destroying Denver's top defense. They destroyed them. That defense
Son.
was so over aggressive, and he was just dialing it up. Jordan Love looked like a friggin' all star. I mean, receivers were running wide open, wide open.
That's
So I'm
wild.
not sure
I
if that's
know.
an indictment on Denver being too aggressive or if Love's because the Packers lost a
Well.
lot
Hmm.
on
Yeah.
defense. They lost Romeo Dobbs. They've lost a lot, but they looked. I mean, that's a game that I watched live. They look good. I
Yeah.
mean, they quickly went up on the defense by double digits. Before you knew it, it
Yeah.
was
They
10
did.
nothing.
Yeah. They did look good. I mean, I love his. To me, he's just he he's what I he should be a top. He should be a top 12 quarterback, right? If he wouldn't you
Yeah,
think?
his only knock is his injuries.
Yeah.
That's it. He
Because
hasn't
he
finished a full year.
I don't ever see him being in the like a top guy, but he could
Oh,
be
people have him in the top five
good enough.
everywhere.
I
I would put
don't.
him. I would put him at 10. I would work with it and put him at 10.
Yeah, I
You
can
know,
maybe 10. I can't see how they have him. Wow, they have that's high. Well, maybe they're just I guess analyzing for this year. Maybe there's
right?
I don't know. I
And
just
they
don't
don't
see.
take into consideration what we do.
I, again, I don't
Yeah,
see it. But
yeah. I don't either. Sometimes he throws beautiful passes; they're unbelievable. Other times, you're like, why do you throw that? And then you look at you go back. We'll run back to the NFC East. You look at Jalen Hurts. Everybody bangs on him. He's gonna go 11 for 11. He's gonna have 11 offensive coordinators in 11 years.
right.
And the
Wow.
guy, first of all, that takes some sort of intelligence, right? It has to.
Right.
I mean, a route is a route is a route is a route, right? But when you
Hmm.
throw in all the nonsense that these guys add to it, it's like, oh my god, some of these calls are like, first of all, I don't even know how you remember it all, and you hear it on
Right.
these crappy receiver, speakers in your ear that are terrible, right? Joe Flacco was doing it in Cincinnati. He's like, all right, like he throws a touchdown to Jamar Chase, having not even called the correct play, right? Because
Yeah,
he
right.
couldn't hear it because it
Right.
was so it was so loud, and he just throws it, and Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase, right? And he's like, God, and comes on the sidelines and talks to Browning and says, I didn't even call a right play. That guy's amazing. He just threw it to him.
Yeah.
But so I give major props to Jalen Hurts for that. That's ridiculous, right? And
Yeah.
and part of it's him. He did change schools, but once he got to the NFL, every year was different.
Yeah.
You know,
Every year was yeah, that's incredible. I didn't realize that. And what a difference he is from like we were kind of saying about Kyler Murray.
yeah,
Or that. You know what I mean? This guy is all business, which you gotta love, you gotta
yeah,
like. That's all
yeah.
he is. He's
That's
not
all he
playing
wants to do is
games.
play ball. He ain't playing video games like Cam Ward and Kyler Murray are.
What
I
do you
mean,
think about
if you have Netflix, watch that quarterback. Just that one part where Cam Ward's, he's supposed to be studying. He's on the damn gaming center with like 10-year-old kids.
what do you think of the Giants?
Their defense is going to be nasty. It's going to be
Yeah,
nasty. I think they're Harbaugh coached, so they're going to be disciplined. Not, I mean, it all depends on Dippy Doo.
yeah,
I mean, like Bill said, I mean, the guy's going to just have to buy his own tent, right? And he'll just go in there, and just sit.
yeah.
It make it a different color blue, right?
Right,
To assuage all the independent neurologists. It all depends on him because they got nobody. They got Winston behind him, who's
right.
hilarious, funny, but he's not. Come on, he's 30 something now.
Not good. Yeah,
Yeah, but they're definitely going to be well coached, and I think they're going to be. I think the battle. It's going to be a true battle between them and Washington for the bottom, and I think Giants might win that battle. I mean, Washington is just not together right now. Missing Larry Tunsil is
yeah.
huge,
It is.
huge.
Yeah,
He was the anchor of that line, and he's not coming back. They might. I mean, they didn't put him out for the year, but it's a torn tricep. I mean, that's 4 months, right?
yeah,
So it happened in early August. So you're trying to tell us that he's going to come back mid December. Like why, right?
right.
Maybe for the last 2 games of the season. I mean, if there's a miracle chance they're still in it, and he's healthy, maybe. But you paid him all that money, so I think the Giants are going to do well just because the guy knows how to coach, man.
Yeah.
He just
I
knows
mean,
how to
I guess
coach.
they could be in the mix for the last wild card spot. You never know. I guess possibly 9 wins for them, 8,
No, I think they're closer to 7. I
closer to
really
7.
do.
Yeah,
Which would be an improvement on last year 5. I mean, the anomaly was they had the easy schedule, and Jaden came out hot, fresh, and healthy. Right?
right.
It's different if he plays 17 games because that gives him a chance, right?
Yeah,
Gives him a puncher's chance in each game. But he has to play 17 games. They have to limit the amount of injuries. They got to get Sonny Styles to do. I mean, what they have him do now, it doesn't look like his natural position because he's lost in the sauce.
yeah.
I mean, he's doing the
Yeah.
deep drop as a middle linebacker in a cover 2, right? And that's just not him.
No,
He's a he's
yeah,
a he's a
no.
frontline guy.
Yeah, they're
You
treating him
know,
like when I saw him, I thought they were treating him like Tremaine Edmonds. It felt
correct,
like that kind of thing, and
exactly.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't do that with him.
that's not his position,
Yeah, no.
right? I mean, he's a rush end. Just throw him in there. Go get
Yeah,
quarterback. Go
look
get the
at the
quarterback
quarterback.
for you.
Yep.
It'll be good because the guy has athleticism. But overall, any other thoughts on the NFL?
No, I mean I'm sick of the. I'm ready for the preseason to be over.
Yep.
Obviously, it doesn't really. It shows nothing. It really does because I don't know what to think. Like I'm watching the Bears, right? Real quick, I told you they're having a hard time
Yeah.
with Braxton Jones on the and the tackle position, and then they had other guys in there, and Theo Benedette. But also. I mean, Ben Johnson isn't doing anything to help him. Like we're not doing that yet. We're not doing the thing where we're
Correct.
gonna chip and do whatever and help him out because they won games with those two guys last year.
Correct.
So what is it really showing me? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know anymore
And
what
then
I'm seeing.
having gone to the camp over the past 27, probably 30 years going to camp, right? NFL camps. It's just so much different. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, even if the Steelers decided to hit that day, the day I was there, it doesn't matter because the practice is so short,
yeah,
right? These are completely different athletes. They treat them completely differently, and it's kind of hard to make a team, right? With a few attempts that you get in practice,
right.
and it shouldn't be that way. It should be easier, but it's not. It's very hard to make a team. And the fact of the matter is, they're going to have less and less preseason because they're going to go to 2, and then you might as well just. I mean, the first you play 18 games. The first quarter of the season is going to be a crapshoot. After 4 games, you could traditionally 16 4 quarters, right? 16
Right.
game season. You knew probably after the first quarter you had a pretty good idea,
Yeah.
right? Very rarely
Hmm.
did a 1-3 team come out of
Yeah.
that just because there's so few games. 2-2 and better, you knew they would be able to last. But that 1-3 and occasionally a 3-1 team would fall below. But it very like last year 6-2 the Buccaneers, and then they regressed and
Right.
went 2-6 or 2 and whatever, however the math works. I wasn't paying
Right.
attention, but that's essentially the issue that they're working with, and I don't know how that changes in the NFL with going down to 2 preseason. It keeps them healthier, but that puts the onus on first of all them doing the work themselves, probably more joint practices, right? And oh, by the way, the
Yeah. And
first 4 games is going to be basically the new preseason, right?
Please. And the Steelers have to get with the times. You're insane not having joint practices with
And
the
the thing
way
is, they
things
had
are.
them for years, decades. They would play the Redskins. They would. I'd watch it on
I know.
TV.
Right.
It was Carlisle. It was Carlisle and Latrobe, right? Those Redskins were in Carlisle. They were in Latrobe, and they would do every year. It was on television. It was on local television.
Right.
They put their freaking
I
7-on-7s on local TV. It was great. But
listening
now
to these coaches talk about how much they gain, but now because of the way things are, it seems like they gain a lot from this, from these joint practices, being able to go offense on this side, defense over here. You do what you do. You got the refs there, and you're able to go full speed.
script, yeah, and
And
script everything.
yeah, and I just don't understand. They should be. That's kind of it's kind of almost like it's I don't even know what. I'd love to know the reasoning behind it. Why would you say no
There's
to
five
unless
teams
you just
that
don't
don't
want
do
to?
it.
Is there five? Yeah.
Five, yeah. Kansas City's one, Pittsburgh's one. I can't remember all the other ones, but for me, that would be invaluable because I'm a coach. You're a coach. Hey,
Yeah.
Jr., can you go to a cover three and have the linebackers
Right.
blitz, right? And I'm not going to tell my team that, right? Then you're going to come to me,
Right.
hey, can you do a deep ins, an out and have two flare backs or something? That's how it works. It's like playing a real life video game. And we say, yeah, yeah, and then you get the look you want and see how your team reacts. That's much more beneficial than going on a field and playing grab ass because it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
You know, and you saw how pissed off what's his name was with the punter. It was the punter that just walked up there and didn't do anything.
I don't even remember. I don't. Who was
Yeah, it
this?
was just
What
last
team?
preseason. J.K. It was J.K. Scott who
Okay.
on a punt return just basically walked off the field and let the running back run right by him. Right? I mean, it was
Yeah.
bad. And it was in front of his own bench.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad look. He was pissed off. I can't. Who does he play for? He plays for. Um, oh God, who's he play for? Anyway, it was him who did it, which I thought was crazy because the coach was fuming
Yeah.
mad. All right, folks, it was a great week. We have some games to pick. We'll be back next week. Next week, we'll go over the college games. We'll have lots of college topics. We'll see how many of these guys try to come back to college, the brand new ones. We'll see if it's a trend. We don't know. We'll put all that. And in 2 weeks, we're picking pro games. But thank you for watching and lights out buttons.